Hi everyone, I am Penny, the creator of Wacko Witch Astrology, and I thank you so much for joining me here today as we talk about Moon in Pisces and how this affects an individual's life path. So again, I would like to express my gratitude. It is you guys who are watching, who are leaving positive comments and giving me positive feedback, who keep this channel going. If you want to help even more, you can check out my Patreon in the description below. And if you find yourself in need of a reading, you could consider getting one from me at some point. But anyway, on with the show. Moon in Pisces. I find these people to be so mysterious. They are often the strong, silent type up until they are not. And these people definitely know how to be loud with actions and not just words. Although there are some who use their voice in quite powerful ways as well. Like Martin Luther King Jr. is a great example of someone with Moon in Pisces. By the way, happy Black History Month. I am recording this in the month of February, so great divine timing here on that part. But yeah, Moon in Pisces might have a habit of kind of trying to lay low, perhaps because they have taken some mental notes all throughout their childhood, all throughout their upbringing, and even into their adult life. They've taken some mental notes about all the many ways that the world is unsafe. Emotionally, physically, I think first and foremost emotionally, and how it's just not safe for certain types of people. And all of them that I can think of fall into these categories of certain types of people that the world isn't safe for in some way. And I think that is some kind of karmic destiny that's happening there, because Moon in Pisces is a martyr. And thankfully in our modern day world, for most of us, being a martyr doesn't mean that our life is going to be directly under attack, thankfully. But it does mean that we are going to be under verbal attack and verbal scrutiny. And Moon in Pisces people who we see in the public eye have dealt with so much. And again, MLK is a good example of that, because he was speaking out for people, and he had a purpose to teach other people and help them realize what was going on, like in an emotional way as well as in an intellectual way, so we can really kind of take a look at our own human behaviors and take a look at some of those toxic patterns that make the world unsafe for various people. So again, there's like different categories that all of us fall into, and some of it is just kind of a matter of perspective. And the idea of being a minority, it depends on where you live, what is currently accepted at the time. And of course, a lot of people have dealt with discrimination based on their sexual orientation. There's a lot of Moon in Pisces people who have specifically experienced that. And even just things like being sexually promiscuous, just being the figure that was judged harshly for something like that. So when you use your voice, you might attract a lot of attention all of a sudden, and you might make a big splash, but you make people think in a different way. You make people realize some of their own negative, toxic behaviors. And some of it is like, it's a personal choice. How many people do you actually want to teach that lesson to? Do you want to keep the attention you draw relatively small? Do you want to mostly just keep to yourself and only have direct effects on the people in your immediate surroundings? Or do you want to, pick up the megaphone and start making your voice and your experience be known? And like I said, most Moon and Pisces people have a habit of laying low, and I think it's because they know that they do tend to be the martyr in some way. And what sucks is you can feel like you are a catalyst for humanity to work out its own issues and its own baggage, and that is probably what makes you want to just curl up into your little introvert ball and hide. I don't blame you. But yeah, in terms of what makes Moon and Pisces people feel this way and what has created this world image and this role that they take on, I feel like the parents do play a part. The parents always play a part in what moon sign the child ends up with. But in Moon and Pisces' sake, I feel like the world around them really plays an even bigger part. Like your parents, the people I have seen who have Moon and Pisces, their parents are usually fairly accepting individuals, but their parents have an understanding of how harsh the world around them can be. And even though your parents might be harsh on you at times, you tend to get the idea that the world around you is even worse. So even though there might be a little bit of, emotional damage from things your parents have done or said, there's probably still a certain understanding that they protect you from other things that are out in the world. Maybe they were just warning you about some of the bad things that were in the world. As toxic or as damaging as that in itself might have been. And I don't want to sound accusatory, but I do think that this type of conditioning can also cause a child, or you, an adult, to grow into someone who to some extent fears the world or feels like they can't handle it on their own, feels like they need to hide and find a way to stay safe, which isn't all bad. That's also part of a survival mechanism that you might find to be necessary. I am all for survival mechanisms personally. I have survived some stuff in my own life, let me tell you. But I've heard people talk about this before. There's like that point where the survival mechanism is no longer necessary. You're out of the danger zone. Life has become safe again. But then sometimes we start carrying around those same fears and those same overly cautious habits from when we had to hide and try to make ourselves safe. And some of those behaviors aren't always beneficial in the type of world that we are currently living in. So finding a way to be brave so that you can teach others and so that you can help others is really a big part of the path for Moon and Pisces people. And it is hard to be brave when you are the martyr, when you have all this emotional baggage being dumped on you. Also, like I've pointed out in other videos, Moon and Pisces, well, any Pisces placement is like a psychic sponge. And then Moon and Pisces is like an emotional sponge, like just absorbing all the stuff, good or bad, that's around them, which might make you feel even more vulnerable. If you wonder what I'm looking at, I have my notes here. So it's about becoming brave, and I said standing exposed and vulnerable for the world to see, which is always a scary thought. I think that is about everything that I wanted to say. You might feel like in some way you grew up in a situation where you were just a little bit out of place, even if you don't fit one of those like brackets of people who were discriminated against heavily during the time of your childhood, and that might be part of what caused you to feel the way you do about the world and wind up taking that role as a martyr. But anyway, let me know what you thought about this video. I'm so excited to see y'all's comments, and I send this message to you with much love and compassion and healing. I hope the message is received well, and make sure to watch the videos for your friends and all of your other loved ones as well. So take care, and I will see you soon. Also, please follow me and turn notifications on Facebook, because I post horoscopes to Facebook quite often. So take care. Bye.